everybody. It's me, Timmy Flyers Guy, and I want to do a little vlog video to talk about some of the game consoles I regret not buying. And I want to talk about this because I just was remembering something from my childhood where I wanted to buy a Super Nintendo, but I never really got a chance. I never really thought about buying one when I was a kid. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the gaming consoles or gaming systems that I regret not buying. So sit right back and get ready for a tale of video game systems I regret not buying. So get ready, folks. We're going down a trip down memory lane here. So stay tuned, everyone. Here we go. Okay, here's the first game console that I should have bought when I had the chance. And that game console was the Super Nintendo. Look at the games they had. Super Mario World, Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario Kart, Star Fox, Donkey Kong Country, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter, and many more great games for the system. My first exposure to the Super Nintendo was when I went to my cousin's house in Wilkesburg, and they had a Super Nintendo. My Aunt Ellen was really good at the Super Nintendo. And some of my cousins, we played the Super Nintendo. We had a lot of fun. We even rented some games at the block. I think it's a Blockbuster in Wilkesburg, PA. We had a lot of fun with this. Let's not forget Mega Man X and other good games for this system. In the summer of '94, I saw this system in a newspaper ad, and it was on sale. I thought about buying it, but instead, I bought McDonald's Treasure Lane Adventure for the Sega Genesis. I still regret not getting the Super Nintendo till this day. Luckily, I did buy the N64 after the Super Nintendos, so I didn't miss out too much. But I wish I would have bought a Super Nintendo. Next system is the next system I should have bought was the Sega CD. Only because Sonic CD was on the Sega CD, and I really wanted to play it. I didn't know what CD-based gaming was like yet, but I wanted to give it a try. And unfortunately, I didn't buy a Sega CD, or I even forgot to ask. I should have asked for it for Christmas. But I regret not asking for it, because I really would have had a lot of fun with the Sega CD. This was a great system. I also regret not getting a Sega 32X, because there's a lot of great games, like Primal, Rage, Virtual Fighter, and Knuckles Chaotic. So I regret not getting a Sega CD and the Sega 32X. The next video is the Sega Master System. Now the Sega Master System, our first exposure, my cousin Jay showed me it at his house when he lived in Wilkes-Barre. Many years later, when he moved to Skippack, he still had this Sega Master System. So many great games. You had Shinobi, you had Rocky, you had Alex Kidd, you had Space Harrier. So many great games on the Sega Master System. Unfortunately, my regret is I should have bought a Sega Master System, but never got around to it. I never got around to buy a Power Base converter, because at the time I didn't know you could play the Master System games on your Sega Genesis. I played this at my cousin Jay's house. Had a lot of fun with it, and I decided I should have just bought one. Next system is the TurboGrafx 16. Actually, TurboGrafx 16. I discovered this game console on YouTube, and I read the history. This came out at the same time as the Sega Genesis, and this game was an amazing system. When I saw it on YouTube, I was amazed at the games they had. You had Bonk. And the best part were the CD games for the TurboGrafx 16, such as the Wonder Boy games, and also Bonk, which was a very fun game for the TurboGrafx 16. I looked this up and I realized, damn, I should have bought one of these when I was a kid. And I was like, damn, I should have bought one of these when I was a kid. But unfortunately, I missed out on it. I missed out on it. And then, at the time, I thought to myself, maybe I should buy one of these systems. But about the time I thought about that, I was already playing Xbox 360. It was a fun system, but one that I missed out on. I should have bought one. Next system is actually a handheld gaming system, which was the Sega Game Gear. My first exposure to this was from watching TV and seeing commercials for the Game Boy, the Game Gear advertised. This was a great system. In later years, you could hook up an antenna to your Game Gear and watch TV on your Game Gear. Just look at the games they have for Game Gear. The Sonic games were really good. And they had a pretty good library of games. And the Power Rangers games were really cool as well. Played them on an emulator. I played them on an emulator. And they were pretty cool. I played this once when I borrowed it from my cousin Matt in 1996. It was an alright system. I really should have bought one, but never got around to buying one. So I have my regrets of not buying a Game Gear. Next system I regret buying was the Nintendo GameCube. This system came out, there was a rivalry between GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. And I had a big decision to make on Christmas. I made the decision to get a PS2. And I got one for Christmas. And I had a lot of fun with it. Then I realized, later in life, I'm going to get myself an Xbox and a GameCube. So in the summer of 2003, I got the Xbox. A lot of fun with that. And then I thought maybe I should get a GameCube. As time went by, I never ever bought a GameCube. I missed out on a lot. And the reason I regret not purchasing a Nintendo GameCube. And let's look at the games. You have Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario, Sunshine, Link's Awakening, Resident Evil, and many other great games for the GameCube. And also Pokemon Coliseum as well, and Super Smash Bros. Melee as well. And the fact that they had a thing called a Game Boy Player. A Game Boy Player, which you hook up. A Game Boy Player that they would hook up. You would hook up to your GameCube. You could play all your Game Boy Advance games on your GameCube with the game with free. with the Game Boy Fire. Unfortunately, with the game, with the Game Boy Fire, this would have came in handy for all of my Pokemon games that I have for the Game Boy Advance. I had Fire Red, I had Sapphire, I had Ruby, and I had Emerald in this GameCube. But it came in handy on those days where I would have to charge my Game Boy Advance. I absolutely regret not purchasing a Nintendo GameCube. Next system is a PS3. My first exposure was late in its lifespan when my nephew, Brian, brought his PS3 over to my house. And he had a lot of good games for the system. The PS3 had so many great games. When the PS3 came out, it came out at the same time Xbox 360 came out. I ended up buying an Xbox 360 in 2007. I should have got a PS3, and don't get me wrong, 360 was a fun system, but I should have got a PS3 as well. So many great games, so many great features, so many great features, so many great games. I missed out on getting a PS3. Man, I should have got one. But I didn't. I regret not getting one. On this system, I had a Sega Saturn. In '96, I had a Sega Saturn for 2 months, and then it ended up breaking on me. I wanted to get another Sega Saturn. I just Sega Saturn and get a PlayStation instead. And I absolutely regret not buying another Sega Saturn because look at the many great games. Virtua Fighter 2, Assault, Guardian Heroes, Fighters Megamix, Nights in the Dreams, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and all the great import games you can get for your Sega Saturn. I absolutely regret not buying another Sega Saturn. I would have really enjoyed it. I would have enjoyed having a Sega Saturn and the PlayStation. Next system I regret not purchasing. I regret not purchasing is the PSP. This thing was pretty innovative. It's so many great games for it, such as Digimon, Adventure, Breath of Fire 3, and so many games that were on the PlayStation that you can play on a PSP. Instead, I ended up buying a Nintendo DS, and the DS was a fun system. Don't get me wrong, but I really should have bought a PSP, because it looked like it was fun to play the first time a PlayStation. You could play handheld PlayStation console. You can play on the go. I really would have enjoyed that. I really would have. Next system that I regret not buying is the Neo Geo CD. So many great games for this. Fatal Fury, King of Fighters. There's so many great arcade Neo Geo games as well. I wish I would have bought this when I had the chance. But it was too expensive. So I had to skip out on it. Guys, I'll be right back. Take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back. Guys, I'm gonna take a quick commercial break. I'll be right back, so stay tuned. advertised on TV a couple of times, and I thought about buying this. But the only thing is, these were hard to find. You couldn't find these anywhere. And I think on a commercial, you would have to dial a 1-800 number to actually buy one of these. I thought about getting one of these because they look really cool. To play Neo Geo games on the run with a handheld system, although not graphically the same as a real Neo Geo game. But still, this would have been fun to have and fun to play as well. I think there was even a Sonic game for this system, which was weird. SNK having a Sonic game, kind of weird. Also, there's some Street Fighter games on the SNK on here as well, and also I think they also had a version of Capcom versus SNK on the Neo Geo Pocket Color as well. Looks like a nice system. I mean, I really would have wanted to get one of these, but I regret not getting one of these. I thought about it. And the last, technically I would consider this a game system or a console. The last game system that I regret not buying is this awesome thing right here. It's the Namco Classics TV games. Plug and play. These were all the rage back then. Walmart had them. Toys R Us had them. Even CVS at one time sold one of these. My first exposure to these plug and plays was when I was in school. It was my last year of high school. It was 12th grade, my last year of high school. And my science teacher brought this in one day. We weren't doing anything, so she decided to hook up some plug and play game systems. I think I did play one of the games on this. And this thing was pretty cool. You had games like Rally X, Dig Dug, Pac-Man, Bosconian, Galaxy, and Miss Pac-Man, Xevious, Galaga, Mappy, and Pole Position. This thing looked like it was really fun to play. And the games looked like they would look like in the arcades. These look like they are a lot of fun. And I really wish I should have bought one. I really would have had a fun time playing one of these on my TV. These look like a fun thing to play. And the joysticks, I think they're easy to move. So, I really enjoyed it. Also, I had a PC game that had Namco Classic games on them. I will be talking about that in a future live video. I'll be talking about the PC version of Namco Classics. I had a lot of good times with that. And I'll be talking about that in my next vlog video. So you can stay tuned for that. And it won't be a throwback vlog shot video. It'll be a vlog video. So like I said, this would have been fun to play. It really would have been fun to play. And it plugs directly into your TV with a USB port. I really enjoyed this. This is a fun. Comes with 2 joysticks. Comes with a red one and a yellow one. So, this is the 2-player. Just like Frank Sinatra said, I got regrets. I've had regrets. I've had a few. Tell you the truth, that song pales in comparison to real life. Well, actually, it was based on real life. So, like Frank Sinatra, the late great Frank Sinatra had regrets. I had regrets too. But in my case, I had regrets not purchasing some of these game systems. Because I had regrets not buying these game systems. Sometimes, the first games we see we want to buy it. Then we realize there are other great game systems as well that we want to buy as well. And sometimes we never get the chance to, or never get around to buying those game systems. Much like my story. Growing up, I had an NES, Sega Genesis, a Sega Saturn for like 2 months. A Nintendo, a PlayStation. I had a Nintendo 64. I also had a Sega Dreamcast, PS2, an Xbox, and then an Xbox, a Nintendo DS, and then an Xbox 360. So I regret not getting all those other systems as a child, but to tell you the truth, I am still grateful for the systems that I got to play, and the systems that I owned. Even though I didn't have a Super Nintendo, I was very grateful to go to my cousin's house and play their Super Nintendo. Even though I didn't have a Master System, I was very grateful to play the Master System at my cousin Jay's house. And even now, I like those TurboGrafx 16 commercials. I regret not buying a TurboGrafx 16. So in life, there are things in life that sometimes we never get around to doing. And sometimes we regret that. And there's a lot of regrets we have in life. And sometimes those regrets can affect us. And sometimes you look back at those regrets and say, yeah, I remember I could have bought a Super Nintendo. But I bought McDonald's Treasureland Adventure for the Sega Genesis instead. Well, that's all I really have to say about that. But if there are any gaming regrets any of you have, please leave some comments and list all your gaming regrets below in the comment section below. When I say gaming regrets, I'm talking about systems that you regret not buying, consoles you regret buying, and video games that you regret not buying. Video games that you regret not buying, and video game consoles, and video games that you regret buying as well. Guys, thank you for joining me, and have a great day, everyone.